Twitter has been one of the most popular social media platforms among developers. Its API has allowed developers to build a range of apps and services that make it easier for users to interact with the platform. However, Twitter's recent decision to shut down its API has sent shockwaves through the developer community. This move is part of a broader effort by Twitter to tighten control over its platform and protect user data. In this video, we'll explore the impact of Twitter's API shutdown on app developers and what it means for the future of third-party apps on the platform. What is Twitter's API and how it works? Twitter's API is a set of protocols and tools that allow developers to build apps and services that interact with the Twitter platform. It allows developers to access Twitter's data, including tweets, user profiles, and mentions. Developers use this data to build apps that provide additional functionality to Twitter users, such as analytics, automation, and integration with other services. Twitter's API has been available since 2006 and has been a critical component of the Twitter ecosystem. Developers have built thousands of apps and services that rely on Twitter's API, ranging from social media management tools to analytics platforms. Why Twitter decided to shut down its API? Twitter's decision to shut down its API is part of a broader effort by the company to protect user data. In recent years, there have been concerns about how third-party apps are using Twitter's data. Some apps have been accused of collecting user data without consent or using it for malicious purposes. To address these concerns, Twitter has decided to tighten control over its platform and limit the access that third-party apps have to user data. The company has announced that it will be shutting down its legacy API, which is used by many third-party apps, and replacing it with a new developer API program. Impact of Twitter's API shutdown on app developers. The shutdown of Twitter's API has had a significant impact on app developers. Many developers have built their businesses around Twitter's API, and the sudden shutdown has left them scrambling to find alternative solutions. One of the most significant impacts of the API shutdown is that many apps have lost access to Twitter's data. This data was critical for many apps, and the loss of access has made it difficult for developers to provide the same level of functionality to their users. Additionally, the API shutdown has made it difficult for developers to maintain their existing apps. Many apps relied on Twitter's API to function, and without access, these apps have become obsolete. Challenges faced by app developers after Twitter's API shutdown. The API shutdown has created several challenges for app developers. One of the most significant challenges is finding alternative sources of data. Many developers relied on Twitter's API to provide data to their apps, and without access, they need to find alternative solutions. Another challenge is maintaining existing apps. Many apps relied on Twitter's API, and without access, these apps have become obsolete. Developers need to find alternative solutions or risk losing their user base. Finally, the API shutdown has created uncertainty about the future of third-party apps on Twitter. Many developers are unsure if Twitter will continue to support third-party apps or if they will be forced to move to other platforms. Twitter's new Developer API Program. Twitter's new Developer API program is designed to provide developers with a more secure and controlled way to access Twitter's data. The new program provides access to a limited set of data and functionality, but it allows developers to continue building apps on the platform. The new program requires developers to apply for access, and they must meet certain criteria to be approved. Twitter is also limiting the number of requests that developers can make to its API, which will help to prevent abuse and ensure that Twitter's data is being used responsibly. Overall, the new Developer API program is a positive step forward for Twitter and its developer community. While it may take some time for developers to adjust to the new program, it provides a more secure and stable platform for building apps on Twitter. How app developers can adapt to the changes brought by Twitter's API shutdown. Adapting to the changes brought by Twitter's API shutdown will require developers to be creative and resourceful. One of the most important things that developers can do is to explore alternative sources of data. This may mean using Twitter's new Developer API program, third-party data providers, or moving to other platforms. Developers should also consider updating their existing apps to use alternative sources of data. This may require significant changes to the app's code base, but it will help to ensure that the app remains functional and relevant. Finally, developers should keep an eye on Twitter's developer blog and other sources of information to stay up to date on any changes to the platform. Twitter has indicated that it will continue to make changes to its API and developer program, so it's important for developers to stay informed. Additionally, Twitter's decision to shut down its legacy API has caused many developers to lose trust in the platform. This may make it more difficult for Twitter to attract new developers and retain its existing developer community. Moving forward, developers will need to be creative and resourceful to adapt to the changes brought by Twitter's API shutdown. This may mean exploring alternative sources of data, updating existing apps to use alternative sources of data, and staying informed about any changes to the platform. While the future of app development on Twitter remains uncertain, there will always be opportunities for developers to build innovative apps and services on the platform. As long as Twitter continues to support its developer community and provide access to its data and functionality, the future of app development on Twitter remains bright. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more videos on interesting topics like this.